Friends, the world of geopolitics is standing at a very crucial turning point. Trade deals are no longer just economic arrangements, okay? They are tools of power, leverage, and influence in the global order. Today, India stands closer than ever before to finalizing a deal that has been delayed, debated, and stalled for more than a decade and a half. I am talking about the India-European Union Free Trade Agreement, a mega trade pact that, if signed, could transform not only India's economic trajectory, but also reshape the balance of global trade and power. To understand why this is such a big deal, we must go back to the beginning. Talks between India and the EU started way back in 2007. At that time, optimism was high. Both sides wanted to deepen ties, but soon disagreements emerged. Tariffs, agricultural exports, labor standards, and intellectual property protection became stumbling blocks. For nearly 16 years, this deal was stuck in endless negotiations. Files gathered dust, leaders changed, and global conditions shifted. But today, urgency is back. Why? Because the world itself has changed dramatically. Europe is facing a new reality after the Russia-Ukraine war. The energy crisis, overdependence on Russian gas, and growing anxieties about China have forced European leaders to look for reliable partners. They want new markets, new suppliers, and new allies who share democratic values. India, with its fast-growing economy and large consumer base, is naturally the best choice. India, on the other hand, has its own reasons for moving quickly. Relations with China remain tense after deadly border clashes. Ties with the United States are strong, but India does not want to be over-dependent on Washington. And Russia, while still a strategic partner, is increasingly under sanctions and global isolation. This means India needs to diversify its trade partners and anchor itself more deeply into global supply chains. For both New Delhi and Brussels, the timing of this deal could not be more perfect. So what does India gain if this free trade agreement is finally signed? The benefits are massive. First and foremost, Indian exporters will get greater access to the European market, which is one of the richest consumer blocs in the world. Our pharmaceutical companies, which are already known for affordable and high-quality medicines, could dominate European shelves. Textile and leather industries could see a new boom. Agricultural exports such as rice, fruits, spices, and marine products could double or even triple. The second benefit will be foreign investment. European companies, from car makers to tech giants, are eager to set up research centers, factories, and green technology projects in India. That means more jobs, more skills, and more growth for ordinary Indians. And the third benefit is global status. India will not just be seen as a participant in world trade, but as a rulemaker, a power that can strike balanced, sophisticated deals with global heavyweights. This would enhance India's image as a reliable economic partner and strengthen Prime Minister Modi's narrative of India as a rising power that delivers results, not just slogans. But friends, nothing comes without challenges. The European Union has its own demands. They want India to lower tariffs on luxury goods, automobiles, wines, and spirits. They also insist that India should be more aggressive on climate commitments, including lowering carbon emissions and following stricter environmental standards. From India's perspective, this is a tightrope walk. Reducing tariffs too much could hurt domestic farmers, small industries, and local producers who fear being wiped out by cheaper imports. At the same time, ignoring European demands could stall the deal once again. This is where politics comes in. For Modi and his government, this deal is about timing as much as substance. If it is concluded soon, before the upcoming political cycles in Europe and before major elections in India, it will be a huge victory. It would allow Modi to showcase himself as a statesman who brought home a deal that had been stuck for 16 years. But if it drags on or fails, critics will say it was another missed opportunity. The European side also has its complications. Farmers in Europe are already protesting against climate policies and foreign competition. Many of them fear that Indian agricultural imports could undercut their local produce. European industries want access to India's huge market. But they are also wary of Indian companies dominating in IT and pharmaceuticals. So for Brussels, too, selling this deal politically will not be easy. Now let us look at the bigger geopolitical picture. This is not just about tariffs or exports. This deal is a statement to the world. It signals that India and the EU are building a strategic partnership that goes beyond trade. Europe wants to reduce reliance on China. India wants to reduce reliance on Russia and the US. Together, they are trying to create a new economic corridor of trust. For China, this is not good news. Beijing would rather keep India isolated or limited to its regional role. A strong India-EU deal undermines China's Belt and Road Initiative and challenges its grip on global supply chains. For the United States, this deal is a reminder that India will not be tied down to any single camp. Washington sees India as a partner, but New Delhi is clearly positioning itself as an independent. Multipolar power, capable of balancing relations with all sides. For Russia, the impact is mixed. On one hand, Russia values India's friendship, especially since India continues to buy Russian oil. But if India deepens trade with Europe, its dependence on Russia will decrease. Moscow will need to adjust its strategy to ensure it does not lose India as a key partner. Now, let us pause and think. What will this mean for the common man? If tariffs are lowered, European luxury cars, electronics, wines, and fashion goods could become cheaper in India. At the same time, Indian products, our clothes,